My favorite movie of all time is West Side Story. It is a musical centered around the rivalry between a white and a Puerto Rican gang. What makes this movie so captivating to me is not the drama or the romance, but rather it is the storytelling through the music and through the dance. This is what makes it so interesting to me. And with every twirl and every song lyric, I can kind of get a glimpse into the characters' lives. And with this window, I can start to see what makes Puerto Rico so amazing. And with their food, their culture, and with their dances, you can really paint a picture of what Puerto Rico is. But ultimately, you can't understand their culture without understanding its history first. So according to the Smithsonian Magazine, Puerto Rico was made a Spanish colony. They used imported African slaves to harvest sugarcane, tobacco, coffee beans, and cattle. But unintentionally, they also created a mixing pot of all these different cultures of Spaniards, of Africans, and indigenous peoples. And because of this forever altered the way Puerto Rican culture would have been and how it is today. For this reason, the history of this is not forgotten, but rather embraced the different aspects of the culture. For example, Bad Bunny, who is a Puerto Rican artist, performed at this year's Super Bowl halftime show. And his performance was filled to the brim with symbolism. According to the Seattle Times, the sugarcane that was displayed throughout the performance was used to pay homage to Puerto Rico, and it's also its Puerto Rican citizens who harvest the crop every year. And Lady Gaga, who also performed the Super Bowl halftime show, had the national flower of Puerto Rico on her dress. This further deepened the symbolism and showed how impactful the culture is to them. And throughout the rest of the performance, Bad Bunny used his props and used his head designs to kind of give imagery to his songs. This was his way of providing bits and pieces together to create this image for us to see of Puerto Rico, of what he wanted us to see what his home was like. And ultimately, music as a whole can also convey a message. Songs can contain different themes. They can contain themes of culture, of politics, and of heritage. But we can recognize these songs as something else. We can recognize them as salsa, as plena, as reggaeton, dembow. And according to the Washington Post, reggaeton and dembow can also be conceived as inappropriate. Since these music genres are a way for them to express themselves, some of them can be inappropriate, but also a lot of them can be very insightful to what they're experiencing. For example, reggaeton and dembow can be used to express their political messages, to stand up against racism, poverty, and crimes. And this kind of shows how powerful their music is, because a lot of people just put on their music to dance, put them out at parties just to dance with their families. But if you take a second to really listen to the lyrics and look at it at a deeper level, you can kind of see how powerful Puerto Rican music is and how deep their message is. And dancing is also another way to connect through that type of music. Because dancing is a way for Latinos to express themselves physically. At every event, we have music to dance to, every event. And this is a way for us to connect with our family and friends. This connection is very powerful. It allows us to kind of express ourselves with our family and friends. For example, according to National Geographic, dancers in bomba sync up with their drummers. It is a type of traditional dance, but you just kind of let your body talk. And this dynamic between dancer and drummer can also create connection with their ancestors, because this scenarios where your family or friends are dancing together can make you feel really at home and feel really connected to your roots. And this really portrays how family-oriented the culture really is. Another way that Puerto Ricans express themselves through the culture is through food. Like I mentioned earlier, Puerto Rico is a melting pot of Spaniards, of Africans, of indigenous people. And so they have a variety of different foods. From Africa, we have tostones, maduros, and tamarindo. From Spain, we have arroz con dulce, we have empanadas, and we have sofrito. From the indigenous people, we have pasteles, yuca, and vianda. And the fact that these are the staples of the culture shows how really diverse and integrated the whole culture is together as a whole. And that through this mixture of different cultures, you can really see how everything is weaved with care and love. In short, Puerto Rico has a rich culture, and it becomes evident with the music, the dancing, and the food. And it shows how amazing the culture really is if you take a second just to grasp the meaning of it and to really dig deep. Thank you.